Hey everyone, it's Kelly, and I hope you're having a great weekend. I had an interesting circumstance this weekend I wanted to share with you and talk about how business and systems and mistakes and personal responsibility can all work together to create better relationships with our customers. So, super short version of what happened is I went to Costco last week. I bought a couple things, maybe six or seven, checked out, went home, all's good. I put the things that need to be refrigerated, like salmon, in the fridge because I wanted to make sure that I didn't lose anything in the car. But I left a few items in my car just because it was late and I didn't feel like dragging in the 30-pound bag of dog food. Well, then when I went back to finish getting everything out of my car this weekend, I realized that something I purchased never made it home with me. And I double checked the car to make sure it wasn't hiding somewhere. I checked the house and it wasn't here. And it was kind of important because it was this 20 pack of G2 gel pens. These are my favorite pens in the world, and they come in all these awesome colors. And it was like 16 bucks for 20 pens. So I found my receipt and I went back to Costco and let them know what happened. And at first, the person at the returns desk was basically saying, you can't do that here, you have to go talk to someone else. And really short, really kind of abrupt. And I get it, it's a busy weekend. I was trying to get out of there quickly and didn't want to take up a ton of their time, but quickly shuffled to basically not my department. So I go up and they say, well, if it was left in the cart, and I said, well, I know it wasn't left in the cart, or it was left at the checkout, we'll have a log of it and then we can fix it. And so they found the date on the receipt, they went through the log, they said, yep, it was. And here's what they said. It was, you left it at the checkout, and if you go pick up one on the shelf, we'll okay it, basically sign off so you can take it home. And that was basically the end of it. I found the on the shelf, I got the little sticker or whatever, and then I was done. But as I was driving home, I kept thinking about that language, about the term, you left it at the checkout stand. And when I was checking out, if you've ever been to Costco or another membership site like that, you know that you're basically on the other side of the checkout lane and your basket goes over there and anything that's heavy in your basket stays there and they either, reload the basket or move it to a new basket. And especially because nowadays when you're using, your card at the checkout, you have to put in the chip and then you have to enter all your personal data, which takes about 5 years. And then you have to wait for it to beep because it's like, don't remove your card remove your card right now. And it's kind of stressful. And they're asking if you want a box and if you want anything from food court and do you need stamps or concert tickets. And you're like, no, let me just get out of here. And, after I was done telling it, no, I don't want cash back or, tickets to the opera or anything like that. They, wheel the basket around, give you the receipt, and you leave. And they have a system in place where when you leave Costco, you have to show your receipt to someone at the door, and they basically count the items on your receipt and count the items in your basket and match it up and then mark it off and you leave. And so that system failed. Now, this isn't a big failure. It's not like I walked out and I was like, oh, that sofa I bought, what happened to it? It was a pretty small item. And I actually thought for a day or so, I was like, oh, it was probably in the car underneath the bag of dog food. It just got stuck there. Luckily, it's not spoiled. Like if I'd left, seafood in the car, I'd be really upset with myself. But that system of checking the receipt failed. So when I went back to the store, I learned that they have a backup system, which is anything they find at the checkout stand, they document. They mark what lane it was, what day it was, and that way when someone comes back and says, hey, I didn't get this item, they go, oh yeah, here it is. But it was the languaging that made me think, because the language wasn't, we forgot to put that in your cart, and we didn't notice it when we checked you out at the door, let's make it right. The language was, you left it at the checkout stand. And I think it's really important that as businesses, we recognize that systems and people sometimes fail. It's not intentional, it's not because people hate you, it's just gonna happen because we're human. And even great systems are built by humans, and sometimes they fail. And so when that happens, it's important to take personal responsibility and not blame the customer. Now, sometimes we all know things are really the customer's fault and you have to smile and just get it out. But in this case, I made the mistake of not seeing it, not recognizing it wasn't in my cart, and when I put things in my car, not noticing it wasn't there. They also made the mistake, because they're the ones who loaded the cart after things were scanned, that they didn't put it in the cart and they didn't check it when they did the receipt check. So in that case, when there's blame on both sides or when there was culpability from your company, you need to admit it. You need to just say, looks like we didn't get that into your cart when you checked out and they didn't catch it at the door. I'm sorry. Let me go grab that from the shelf for you. We'll get you out of here in no time. Anything else I can help you with? That's a much better relationship builder than you did this. Now you have to figure it out. And this isn't something that's like ruined my day. I mean, I love these pens, but I'm not obsessive. This isn't something that I'm going to ban Costco over and boycott Costco. It's not even something that I'd be, screaming at the manager saying, I had to drive across town and oh my gosh, you owe me for gas or something stupid like that. And I think sometimes we let the fear of the most unreasonable customer prevent us from acting human to all of our other customers. So maybe there's one customer in 1,000 who's going to scream their head off and have a hissy fit and make a scene because they were not hugged as a child. Okay, but for the other thousands of customers and clients you serve, treat them like reasonable people. Admit when you're wrong, thank them for helping you, acknowledge that there was a hole in your system or there was a problem, and make it right. But don't avoid taking responsibility for something that was your mistake because you fear the 1% of client who's unreasonable and unhappy. And they're someone who's perpetually aggrieved anyways. They're never going to be happy no matter what you do. And in that case, it's best to just fire them as a client and get back to being polite and pleasant to the wonderful clients that you serve. So that being said, it is the weekend. I'm going to go finish working around the house and head out to the gym. And then, of course, open up these gel pens and get some work done on Monday. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.